Second review of the day. This one is the B&O H4, which is a wireless Bluetooth headphone. And they've had the H7 and H8 Bluetooth selling for $400 and $500. They have not exactly gotten great reviews. They have an H9. I don't even know what that does, but why bother? As far as I can tell from reading those other reviews on the H7, H8, and comparing to what I hear here, I'd say this is at least as good, although it may have a unique sound, and I'm going to describe that. There's a place where you can plug it in wired, and where that hole is right there, and then we have the charging micro USB connector there, and then we have the 3 buttons, which is the on-off button in the center, plus some other functions, and then your volume up and volume down. Now, using this with the iPhone 7, what I found out is those buttons there, the the uppermost button here, and then two below it on the other side of the on-off switch, control volume. But on the phone, they actually turn the volume up and down on the phone, so they're actually sending a signal to the phone to change its volume. So we don't have any kind of volume built into the headphone itself here. So the DSP here apparently just does the Bluetooth, and there is no noise canceling here. So it's just Bluetooth. But this is a $300 headphone, cheapest thing that they have at B&O that does Bluetooth. $300, and seems to be very well built. It's very comfortable. Nice big round soft pads. These go pretty much around my ears. Now, not all of the ear fits in, but the top part and the sides and everything else, maybe the earlobe is flattened out against the bottom of the ear cushion. But anyway, they have a fairly good seal and provide strong bass, good isolation. Again, not like noise canceling, but the isolation I'd rate is above average for a closed headphone. It's pretty good. And so, good to be maybe a quarter mile from traffic, not so good if you're riding on an airplane. Left-right ear cup markings are actually in the ear pads themselves. The range of adjustment on here, let's see, pretty good, but looks like about 1.5 inches. And since I'm about in the middle of that, I'd say this is going to fit a very wide range of heads. I don't know yet how good the headband is. It provides a pretty solid clamp, but the ear pads are very soft and spongy, so not an uncomfortable fit. But when I had the H2, that was their economy regular headphone that sold, I think, for $200. The headband was not metal like this, I guess, and it would stretch out and stay stretched out, and it would gradually get looser and looser around my head and fall off. And not a good design, and had to get rid of that. That was the H2, but this looks like it might hold up and retain its clamp. You could probably change the clamp by bending, I'm not sure, but anyway, hopefully it keeps that shape forever. And we have some kind of thin leather strip on top. We have a little bit of spongy padding underneath the headband. Enough for me. Some other people might find it uncomfortable. If that's the case, just pull the ear cups down a little bit more and let the weight rest on those. The signal going from left to right is through those wires. And I don't know if those are activated during Bluetooth, but since it's a single-sided, when you do a wired hookup through that jack, I guess they definitely would have to have the wires to carry the signal to the other side, but they don't embed it in here because this whole design is to save money. So it's to save money, be cheap, whatever. Looks good and performs well. So don't have any complaints about this headphone. I didn't bring the box because it was just a simple cardboard box, and there's no bag, no accessories in there except for the cable. So nothing to say about that. I want to show you the EQ curve I did, which looks like this. Alright, so what we're looking at there is I reduced that bass about 4 decibels around between pretty wide range from about 40 up to 90 hertz. This bass is unusual on H4 in that the only other headphone I've had that maintained the full bass strength, or even more so, down in the deeper bass, was the Audio-Technica M50. So it's the first headphone I've used that doesn't roll off the bass even a little bit. It seems to go strong all the way down to at least 30. Below that, it might drop off some. In fact, it does. But you know, on you get some music that has some really deep bass in it and everything else, it'll still be pretty useful. Anyway, I had to boost around 400 to 500 hertz broadly, because it just it isn't the presence range, but it's I don't know. So the fundamental vocal range is right around there, and it's a little bit recessed. So I pushed that up about 4 decibels, 3 or 4, about 4, and then another kind of recess around 1500 to 2 kilohertz. And that also provided less, a more distant sound. I pushed up about 4 to 5 kilohertz a good bit, because that also was kind of recessed. And then I reduced 7 to 9 kilohertz because they're pretty strong. I think that's going to hold it for most people. They're going to find that there's some peakiness in that upper treble, and that below that there's some recess. And so, you know, it's exactly how much you experience is going to vary a little bit, but you'll find that that's the case. So it's it's not a perfect sound, but for portable use, this is probably just fine, especially with the increased bass, because you know, you kind of lose bass outdoors. So anyway, there we are for the sound curve. One more thing I wanted to point out is that B&O is one of the few vendors who've done portability right, and that let's pull these down a little bit here so we can see better. And that when you're wearing these properly, left and right, okay, there's the right ear cup. You turn the ear cups like this and hang them around your neck, hang the headphone around your neck, it doesn't get in your way. Pull the ear cups all the way down, it won't bump your chin or anything else. It's a perfect portable, and you don't have to turn it around backwards because they rotate the ear cups the right way. And a lot of headphone makers don't do that. So I don't ever need a carry case unless I were traveling and I wanted to pack it. But most of those cases, I just still hang the thing around my neck if I'm going to use it. And I think this would survive in a suitcase without having to have a carry case for it. But other than that, it all seems to be very high quality. There's outside of the ear cups are plastic or rubber, and got some metal plates of some kind on here for decoration. And I haven't taken the ear pads off, but I would imagine we'd probably have the conventional 40mm drivers under here. But anyway, the Bluetooth connection seems good. Haven't had any dropouts, any problems. I think it's 4.2, whatever that is, and so it's a good headphone, and for $300, and being a B&O, pretty good deal. And they come in different colors, some really interesting colors, and they'll probably even have more eventually. So for as far as B&O prices go, it's almost a bargain. So there we go. Thanks.